So when analysing the clean, this is very similar positions to that of the snatch. So the first one is the 1 frame before barbell movement. So that's barbell movement. I will take a screen print there before I move into the end of the first pull, which is the first maximal knee extension. So I'm watching those knees travel back before they move forwards. So this is the position here. I will take a photo of that position. I'm then going to move into the mid-thigh position, so knee flexion. So I'm looking for the maximal knee flexion. So the knee flexion is the knees pushing forwards. So the top position is there, because if you watch, if I go any higher than this, the knees are extending, okay? So I am going to take a screen print of knee extension, which is at this point. The next movement from there is maximal extension, so the end of the second maximal knee extension. So I'm looking for those knees to get snapped back. So I'm looking for extension in the body before the bar, or sorry, before the athlete drops underneath. So it's this point here, or I'm throwing back there, take a screen grab. My next image from there was going to be the receive position, so the lowest point that that barbell is received and fixated, which is here. And then the final image is the finish position, where I'm standing up at the end of the clean, which is there.
So the screen grabs that I took from the clean, I've now inserted them into the weightlifting checklist for the clean. Now each phase, very similar to the snatch, has some key positions, and all we're looking to see is whether they are correct or incorrect. So I've already done this, so I have got a bunch of ticks and a bunch of crosses against all the areas and the key positions in the clean, okay? But all I'm looking from here is to see where this movement breaks down and where I need to really emphasize my next training cycle, okay? So I would look back to here and go, okay, so the end of the first pull, yes, there's only one cross, but this is quite a significant area. The bar should be over the midfoot. Now, the bar is not over the midfoot because it's away from the thigh, okay? Which then leads to the mid-thigh position being out of line. I'm really having to work hard in this mid-thigh position to make sure that maximal extension is good. And obviously, we're leaking energy here just because the bar should be directly above the ankle joint and the bar comes away from me here and it's more towards the toes, okay? So I'm always chasing the bar. So what this is showing me here is that when I go back to training, really, I want to be starting with the end of the first pull. I know there's only one incorrect area, but it's almost like a domino effect. Because that has happened, it's then led to the mid-thigh position being out of line. So what I would do here is, again, I'd potentially look at hang cleans or block cleans just to really emphasize that bar gliding against my thigh through that second pull, okay? And by finding a better position, that bar is over the midfoot, my mid-thigh position is going to be better. Now, I might start to do cleans a couple of times a week. Again, I think it'd be very similar to the snatch, that I want to be really trying to work on high hang cleans, okay? Just to really try and keep the heels down and expose myself to generating force through the midfoot, okay? Rather than coming up onto my toes too soon. Now, again, the movements that I would choose to be in my program, hopefully they're going to iron out the inefficiencies between these areas. So once I come to the end of my training block and I go for another max attempt, I will take images very similar to this, and all I'm looking to do is to make sure that this area here, the bar should be over the midfoot in the hang position or end of the first pull, is happening, and that's helped to improve that mid-thigh position, okay? So we just make sure that the areas that we work on, we do a really, really good job of those areas, okay? So when we come back to this, we should see more ticks than crosses, okay, in those sections. Now, hopefully that has given you a little bit of an insight on how you should be analysing your movements. If you've got any questions, drop me a message.